right, so we are now with Rudy Palominos, who is a DJ, and Erin Scully, who is his pro. So how are you both doing today?
We're good. We're really good. We're taking a break from practice to chat with you guys for a little bit. So.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, having a great day, and so we're ready to do this interview.
Good. So let me ask you, Rudy, have you ever danced before this, or have you ever thought about dancing before this opportunity?
I've always thought about dancing.
Right.
I've always loved dancing ever since I was a kid, but so far as like doing anything professional-wise, no. I've never done anything like this. I did like a casual like salsa dance lesson, but it was only like an hour with like an ex-girlfriend, and that was about as far as it went. So this is probably the most real, like, technical learning dance steps that I've ever done in my entire life.
Right, right. So, Rudy, I know you came in about a month later than everyone else.
Right.
So, what did you think when you were first asked to participate in Dancing with the Stars Reno?
Well, when it first happened, I was getting ready to start my show, and one of the salespersons came upstairs into the studio and just had this, like, look on her face, like she was just, like, so distraught and stressful, and I was like, I need to ask you a favor, and I'm like, yes, what's going on? She's like, do you like to dance? I'm like, yeah, I like to dance. She's like, I need somebody for Dancing with the Stars. I really need somebody for this event. And I said, okay. I said, yeah. I said, I'll do it. And she was completely ecstatic about it. And she's like, okay, awesome. This is great. I'll get into contact with the studio, with the dance instructor, and it's turned out to be a great experience. I mean, even though maybe a month behind, I think it may be more psychosomatic than actual what's happening as we're dancing. So it is kind of tinkering in the back of my mind, but I'm trying to block that out.
Good.
Yeah.
And Erin, for you, you got Rudy a month later. So what did you think, knowing that you were already a pro?
Well, I think I'm super blessed to have Rudy, and to have his super positive attitude makes the practice so much easier, and to be a month behind and know that it puts pressure on the front end, I think, and in the back of your mind the entire time, we're behind everybody else, but Rudy works so hard, and he goes home and practices, and it really makes my job so much easier.
Right.
So Rudy has been just a blessing.
Right. So
and I'm
Rudy...
going to pay her for that after this.
Yeah, the agreed upon amount, right?
Yes. Oh my gosh. So, now Rudy, what had you been anticipating when, obviously, I think you said it was your producer who came up and asked this favor, or what had you been thinking of now?
I had no idea. I had no idea what type of dance it was going to be. I didn't know whether we were going to be able to pick a dance, whether it was going to be jazz, ballroom, like what we're doing now, country, hip-hop, tap. I just came in blind and just said, okay, you guys do whatever you need to do.
Good for you.
Yeah.
So, Erin, when you found out Rudy was your star, how was it meeting him?
It was awesome. He came in with this huge smile and left me a voicemail, actually, was when I found out Rudy was my star. He's like, hey, Erin, this is RJ, and I'm listening to the voicemail. I'm like, I recognize this guy's voice, and that's when I knew he was on the radio, and so, but he came in with this huge smile our first practice, and it was, it was very fun. Every practice has been awesome, so.
Perfect.
But she has kicked my butt. That's all I'd have to say. She has kicked my butt.
Did you think she would at first?
Oh, yeah. I had no doubts in my mind. No doubts.
So, how were your beginning lessons, Rudy?
Tough.
Yeah.
Just straight up tough, and all I can say is that every single I give all the dancers, the instructors, everybody the highest praise, because I know how difficult it is. I mean, you watch the shows on TV, you see people, doing dance competitions and this and that, and everybody's their own little amateur expert, right? Oh, I can do that. Oh, that's not that hard. Oh, well, you know what? When it's the difference between acting and mimicking, like some steps, and then actually knowing the mechanics and saying, hey, there really is a technique and a method on how we need to do this. We really do need to step here and move there, and it's tough. It's just as like any athlete trying to to practice to get to their goal or whatever they're trying to reach.
Right. So, Erin, were you cracking the whip in the beginning lessons? Is that what Rudy's telling me?
I think that is what Rudy's saying, but I think I've gotten tougher as time has gone on.
Right.
I think,
but it wasn't anything. It wasn't. She was never mean or anything like that. And neither was Jeffrey or even Andrew when he helps us. And it's the fact that, okay, well, you know what? This is where your body needs to be, and this is where I need you to be, because if we're going to pull this trick off, or if we're going to pull this move off, then this is how it has to go. And if not, then it's just all going to fall apart. And I don't take that as being mean. I take that as being constructive and saying, hey, you know what? We're trying to to get this entire thing together, and you work with me, I'll work with you, and let's make it happen.
Right.
Yeah.
So, Erin, what kind of student has Rudy been for you?
Oh, he's just been an awesome student. He, like I said before, he works so hard, and he makes my job easy. Mm-hmm. So he's just been incredible, and
that's super important.
Every practice he makes me laugh. So
right. Well, it's good. It's a fun thing.
Yeah, he makes it fun for me, and so I couldn't be more thankful for that.
So, are there any specific moments that were funny or maybe embarrassing for you guys during this practice time?
I think we have a good laugh probably every practice.
Yeah.
You're practicing the tricks, and inevitably it goes wrong.
Right.
One way or another, pretty much every time.
I mean, maybe I've dropped her a few times. But nothing like that really stands out. Like, oh my God, it's just like we're totally gonna blow this, or even today, like the first time my hat hit her, and now she's got a little red mark above her eyebrow. So
which Rudy stared at, but it's fine.
Right.
And then I feel bad when stuff happens. I'm like, I'm not trying to hurt you. I'm so sorry.
It's an accident.
And then she's like, no worries. I'm just gonna have a bruise the size of a stop sign tomorrow.
So, Rudy, do you think dancing's hard at the end of the day?
Do I think it's hard?
Yes.
I think that the hard is kind of like that's real. I wouldn't say that's not the word that best describes it. I would say that it takes devotion and dedication. It's something that you have to want. Right. Inside. It's like, okay, I want to make this dance look good. I want to make, I want to get this move down. I want to do that. So I really think that it takes a lot of dedication, and some people may think that that's hard, but I really just think that that's application, and then that's just being true to yourself and knowing, hey, you know what? I want to get this done.
Right.
So that's it. It is difficult physically.
Yes.
But once you get it, it's like I tell Jeffrey, like I tell Erin, like I tell Andrew, it's very rewarding. It's very rewarding afterwards, because you end up impressing yourself and going, wow, you know what, I really did do that.
Yeah.
I did that. That's awesome. It looks great. So it's something that makes me smile when I'm doing it.
Good. So is there anything, if you could start over maybe, is there anything you'd change about your dancing experience for both of you, or as even Erin as a teacher?
Would you change me, Rudy?
No, I wouldn't change Erin. Erin's always smiling. She's always got a good attitude, even though if maybe she's had a bad day at work or she's tired, she still says, okay, well, we still got to do this. And I even know that there's times after we're done with our hour and 15 minutes, hour and a half, or however long it is, that she still has to stay here another 2 hours or so because she has something else extra working on the side.
Right.
So even just seeing that type of devotion and dedication just makes me want to push harder and go, okay, well, you know what? If this girl can do it and she's doing it all the time, 24/7, it's just like, you better get up off your butt, Rudy, and make this happen.
Right.
Yeah. So I wouldn't change anything. Mm-hmm. It's always a pleasure coming in here and working with everybody in the studio. And even when I leave, I'm always happy.
Right. And Erin, anything you'd change maybe?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I think the month, knowing that we started a month after Everybody Else, really just pushed us harder. And it's been a thrill.
Yeah, and that's awesome. So, Rudy, how has dance changed you or taught you?
It's taught me to respect other dancers, to tell you the truth. Like I said earlier, when, people, are their own, amateur experts and they see people doing stuff or they're watching a dance competition on TV, it's really just made me look back in perspective and go, wow, you know what, these people work really hard to make this happen. I mean, I understand there's people that have been dancing ever since they were young, or they've been doing it years on end or whatnot, but still at the same time, no matter how long you've been doing it, it still takes effort, and you still have to have that dedication and just push for that next level.
Right.
So I have tons of respect for dancers, yes.
And then while you're up on stage, it's the big day, you and Erin are up there pumped, ready to rock it. Are you thinking that you want to inspire other people to dance, maybe if they're kind of on the edge?
I would hope so.
Yeah.
I would hope so. I would hope in anything that people do, whether it be dancing or cooking or reading to children. I mean, that's one of those things where it's just like, somebody could see, oh, wow, well, I never thought about doing a country dance, or I never thought about doing a ballroom or a jazz dance. And I really think that people sit back and they enjoy it. It's just like going to see your favorite musician at a concert. It's just like, oh, I love their music.
Right.
I wish I could play that.
Yeah.
And some people do take that step forward and go, okay, well, you know what? Next month I'm going to take a dance class, or or I'm going to take a music class or something like that. So I do hope that some people in the audience just see everybody who will participate in this event and possibly want to take a dance class.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So Rudy, one last question before we wrap things up. Are you going to pursue dance in the future, or was this a one-time, this was awesome and I wanted to try it thing?
No, I don't think that it's going to be a one-time thing. I think that actually Erin and Jeffrey are trying to concoct some sort of evil plan to get me back in the studio to kind of help out and possibly get me to do some more dance lessons and do some things maybe of my choice. Yes. But I really I've always wanted to do something like this. Mm-hmm. I really have always wanted to do something like this, just beyond casual dancing, beyond just going out to the nightclub or to a dance club and just dancing and just feeling the music, but actually knowing how to dance. Yeah. People can have rhythm on the dance floor and do casual dance, but do they know how to dance? It's a huge it's a big difference. A big difference. So yes, I really do hope that in the future that I will come back here and do some good stuff.
Well, thank you for joining me for the interview, both of you. It was really awesome, and good luck with your dance.
Thank you.